Okay, this tutorial will be about Charles' Law. Charles. So Charles' Law discusses the relationship between volume and temperature. So let's take a look at the problem. A container of oxygen has a volume of 349 milliliters at a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius. What volume will the gas occupy at 50 degrees Celsius? So because this problem only has volume and temperature, we know to use Charles' Law. Now remember, when we are doing our gas law problems, our temperature must be in Kelvin. So, in order to go from Celsius to Kelvin, you must add 273 to whatever degrees Celsius you have. So, I'm going to write down Charles' Law equation, which is volume 1 over temperature 1 equals volume 2 over temperature 2. Charles' Law shows that volume and temperature is in a direct relationship, meaning if you increase temperature, then volume will also increase. Because remember, if you increase temperature, you are adding energy to those gas molecules. They are moving around more rapidly and they are spreading out. Okay, so let's take our variables and write them down the side. V1, T1, V2, T2. So volume 1 would be what we're starting with, which is right here, V1. And temperature 1 is what we're starting with, T1. So 349 milliliters and 22 degrees Celsius, but we can't leave it at that, so I'm going to add my 273 to change my Celsius to Kelvin. This is very important because Kelvin is the temperature scale that is related to kinetic energy, and we know how much those gas molecules like to move around. All right, so volume 2 is what we are solving for, and temperature 2, again, it's the same idea. We have to take our degrees Celsius, add 273 to get our temperature in Kelvin. Now it's just plugging it into the equation and solving. Okay, so I'm going to say 349 divided by 295 is equal to, well, we don't know, volume 2 over 323. So, in order to solve for this problem, it is cross multiplication and division. So, cross multiply and divide. So, I'm going to multiply these two numbers and then divide by the third. So, volume 2 ends up being 382 milliliters. Now, that makes sense because we talked about earlier how if you increase temperature, volume also increases. Well, temperature 2 is hotter than temperature 1, so our volume should go up, which it does. It went from 349 to 382. All right, so that's Charles' Law.